Heyo, log 31.0. Date was the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. It currently is November 6th, Saturday, November 6th, 2021, 12:25 a.m. So I'll make this one quick because I'm tired and sick and tired, and have been for like 3 weeks now, man. It's incredible. I've never not been able to kick a sickness like this in my life, man. Like, it's just a common cold too. It's nothing unusual. Pretty sure it's not corona. I was hanging out with people from home all weekend this weekend that had to like corona test and submit, and they wouldn't be allowed back if they had it. So I'm assuming by proxy I don't either, and doesn't, I can still taste and all that. Still haven't been like formally tested, but it's not corona. It's just like a never ending fucking cold, man. After being in like a bubble for 2 years or nearly 2 years, I guess, surprise, surprise, the moment I get out, I get sick. And it's true of a bunch of people right now too, not just me. And not just those in London either, like all around Europe. I know other colleagues elsewhere outside of the UK also sick. Spoke with one of my customers in New York. Chanel no less. That was a name drop, but she was saying that she is sick as well. She's like, usually 3 to 5 days and I bounce back. I'm like, exactly, that's what I've been saying as well. It's like, typically I'm, bounce back from a cold within a week. It's been fucking 3. Now, granted, I've been getting out and at it like at least once a week in the last 3 weeks, and that doesn't help. A couple of weeks ago, I feel like I was just finally recovering, and then went out with my coworkers. Long story short, end up out on my own for the night, and on a Thursday night, I lose the rest of them, and I don't get home till like 8 a.m. I'm not gonna tell that fucking story, dude, but I mean, that one not to be forgotten, doesn't need to be told. That's a story to be told in person, with people at some point, if ever. But yeah, and then that sets me back a bit, like losing my voice. I mean, I was doing like a pilot review that Friday, a few hours later. Fortunately, the pilot review wasn't until like 1 or 2, so I had like not very many calls that morning, so I could get it done, thank God. And then doing it, like, I had no fucking voice, bro. I felt bad for like the customer having to listen to me like strain to speak, you know what I'm saying? Like, it must have been annoying to listen to, like, here's a 30 to 45 minute presentation, spoken by somebody who can hardly speak. Like, and one of the guys that was there never heard me speak previously. God, I made a mention of like apologies for my voice at the beginning, but I don't know if it was heard or understood. Hey guys, I'm sick. I hope it's obvious from how I sound, but I mean, him having never heard my voice before, I wonder what he was thinking. He didn't pick up on the remark at the start. Anyways, that was like at this point over a week ago. Might have been 2 weeks ago, probably a week ago. No, 2 weeks ago, maybe, whatever, I don't know. This weekend though, have a friend visit from the States. So first fucking visitor, guest, person I could host, familiar face from the US. It was exciting, right? To have somebody finally come out here that I could kind of like play host to, or even more so just explore with, right? And there's not a lot of London I've seen to show that I can kind of like Sherpa in a way. It's more so, hey, somebody new to kind of explore with too, that's from home. And it was ironic too who that person was. So this person, I've been like quote unquote crushing on this girl since we were in high school, right? But not in like a serious way, not in like I actually like, how to explain? So you're older, right? So it was always just like put on a pedestal, just that one girl you always found to be like the hottest girl sort of thing. Everyone has their one. This was always mine, right? Debate with a bunch of dudes about who the hottest is. This one was always like at the top, right? Unbeatable type example. And everyone has theirs for them, right? This was mine for me. Not that I even like went after the girl, hollered the girl, never even really talked to the girl, just always kind of put her in that like pedestal type, I don't know how to explain. Then we got a lot older, post-college, all that, see a lot of parties, drink and stuff, and like, same sort of social circle. So got to know her better then, which was cool. And then, she dated some of my friends. One I'm not that close with, wouldn't consider exactly a friend, but like, at one point I guess it'd be rude not to say he's not. But then most recently, one that definitely is, kind of like before I came out here, him and her were seeing each other. I knew before I left, she was at like, had this like Super Bowl party at the Brit / my, going away get together. And I said to him, even though he was like, kind of sort of dating, definitely seeing, absolutely fucking her, right? Hey bro, like, is it cool if I just like kiss her, bro? Cause like I'll probably never see her again. She's always been like up there on my like, put it on a pedestal type. And he's like, yeah, go for it. So I go for it. Never done this before in my life, right? Never like kiss a girl on the lips without like their consent. So absolutely sexually harassment. I understand the story I'm telling, very incriminating. But whatever, bro. This is a boy's childhood like dream. I just like made happen drunk as fuck before I was leaving the States for who knew how long, before I maybe never see her again. Like, can I just kiss the girl I've always thought was like the hottest in high school? So I go after it, do it, and she was surprisingly cool with it, right? Like she could have, reacted any number of ways, and honestly, she could have reacted better. So thank God for that, right? Like she's a cool girl. She really is a cool girl too. I mean, that much I knew even going into doing this at this point, right? Like how cool a girl she actually is. But no matter how cool a girl actually is, you kiss a girl on the lips without like their consent, like they have every right to react however they do, right? So that said, whew, relief. She reacted so well, right? But the irony of it all, though, is that the first person who comes out that I see from home is the last person I kissed back home. So irony wasn't lost on me, obviously, but it was cool to hang out with her. And she had a friend here too he had been out here like a week before her. And this guy's just like a total world traveler. I guess he worked for like Palantir previously and definitely made money from there. I think it was their pre-IPO, and obviously they've since IPO. Just telling me about it, it's just basically just traveling the world. Plans now are to like move to Hawaii, and this guy. I mean, even like his IG handle is like Taurus sort of thing, right? And I never met him before, but from home as well, apparently. A little bit older. And how do they know each other? They did tell, doesn't matter. And if I remember, why recite, right? Not trying to make it easy for people to pinpoint people sort of thing, but they were very much foodies, did their kind of whole foodie agenda for the weekend. And then I'd kind of join them, in the evening, right? A couple of times I was supposed to join them for dinner, Friday night, but I was like caught up with work, so couldn't, so didn't. I was supposed to join them for dinner Thursday night as well, but caught up with work, so couldn't, so didn't. So missed out on dinner with them Thursday and Friday, even though I was supposed to join them, but met up with them at like the restaurant, right? As they were like leaving each time. So then from there, I peeled off with both of them to like explore. It was cool. It was fun. Yeah, I had a great time, man. It was probably the best weekend of my time here in London. I spent a weekend in Amsterdam when I first came out here, within like maybe a month of me being out here, spent like a weekend in Amsterdam because we went out there for like company on sites on Thursday and Friday, and I just stayed there Friday night. But I didn't even spend the whole weekend, to be frank. I flew back, what was it, Saturday morning? So I wasn't even counting, I guess. And beyond that, as far as like full on weekends, I mean, there were some great days, but like a full on fucking weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get out, get out, get out, get out. I don't think I've done it, B, this is like the first time doing that back to back to back sort of thing. Just getting at it, and it was a great time. I had so much fun. But going into it, I was kind of sick. Coming out of it, I probably felt worse than ever, actually. And ironically, not even the worst on Monday. It hit me the worst, I think, actually on Tuesday. And I'm still struggling through this sickness, like all this week. And it's really slowing me down. I'm not able to work like the late hours that I usually do. On top of that, I didn't work the late hours I usually do Thursday, didn't work the late hours I usually do Friday, and then just like struggle bus to be able to this week, so didn't again. And it's all piling up on me badly, right? And customers, like, it's hard because I am at a lot of my customers, like their main point of contact, but I'm also the VP. And it's a very big struggle bus for me because it's like they're looking for me to get these things done, like an individual contributor, but I have other shit I gotta do. I'm already too stacked in terms of number of accounts are in my name or I'm directly responsible for. And then I got other stuff I got to do that I guess isn't getting done. I don't know, like having to come up with like MBOs or my comp plan for my team. Right, I want to give them written reviews too. I like doing that for them, and that I still owe them theirs. I haven't even written them. Got to get those done as well. And then there's so much other little things that just aren't getting done. But the most important thing is I have customers just like blowing up my inbox, and I'm just struggling to like keep up, right? And at this point, it's Friday night. Like I'm just gonna get done what needs to be done tomorrow. Also because of what we do, the nature of what we do, automation, like I could set something up, and if it's like misfiring or something, like as long as it's set up in soft launch, it's all good, or it's not actually like publicly automating, it's fine. But I just rather do it Saturday, and then I can go through all the fucking tasks, get them all done, and then circle back and check that it's all working okay, right? And then really be done rather than try and do that tonight, right? Whatever. But that said, we did new hire just started on Monday, so that's exciting. So the very complaint I'm having here should solve itself once she's properly onboarded. Now, added challenge, added extra like stressor for me as much as like task two is to onboard her, right? Take the time to like train her up so that I can really like pass things on. But that in and of itself is a huge task as well. And when I already feel like I don't have enough time in the day to get basic stuff done, I've been lucky with the US CSM because the time difference. I can get all stuff done, and then late I'm perfectly happy being on a call with her from like my time, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., walking her through hella shit, right? She's been lucky in that regard too, I think, right? But like with a UK CSM, there is no time in the day. Like you should see my calendar. It's boom, 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 boom. Like like I'm flying from call to call to call. I'm lucky if I even if the call ends early enough that I can like have a 2-minute cigarette before the next one. But anyways, at least there's like a light at the end of the tunnel with the hire, and hopefully I can get her up to speed so that, let's say, by the new year, she's in a position to kind of run these counts on her own. And I can tell she's chomping at the bit. And as you might, your first week to like learn as much as you can. I said, Rick, relax. Let's just join the calls, listen. If you have any questions, like ask. The whole point here is for them to just see you in the calls, for starters. For you just to get to know kind of the customer, the contacts, the people, what we're talking about, what we're working on. Just get in the loop. I realize right now it's like trying to drink from a fire hose, but just try and absorb. I'm gonna start getting you CC'd on all the email threads as well, so they also get in the habit of CCing you too. And you can begin to kind of track those conversations. Then let's say starting next week, what I'll look for you to do is just everything I talk about, like create like a Monday task for or like a Jira task for. So that we have that like running record. It'd be a good way for you to kind of write out what was said, and I can tell you maybe how you might have misunderstood or what that actually meant, or how to create a Jira ticket for it. Let's just start there so to get you in the groove as far as what needs to be done on the back end is not the right word, but like on the behind the scenes, right? And then eventually, then the next step from there, the next step would be maybe start responding to some of their emails. But that's not next week. That's maybe not even the following week. That may be week 4. Start putting you in a position to start responding on my behalf, right? Between now and then, though, I've also got to get clear on which are and aren't going to be her accounts, right? For the time being, she's just kind of shadowing all. Good news is, though, with this week, as far as like silver lining, obviously having the UK CSM start is huge, but the one renewal I considered the most kind of at risk, it was up for renewal this week, and they signed like immediately, the fastest renewal ever, without even like any ROI story to be told, no ROI story we try to tell. And that's because they took forever to get implemented. They moved from one system to another system, and so slow to get like started. I think there will be ROI in the next 12 months, but it's hard to kind of project. But that said, they're happy. I mean, we knew they were happy, but like without ROI story, you have to just chalk it up as at risk, right? But never had a contract signed faster, ever. Ever. So the one I had highlighted in red, right, ended up, being nothing to worry about maybe. But well, obviously in retrospect, apparently. So all gravy. So now the rest of the quarter shouldn't be any surprises. I mean, it would be a surprise if something didn't come through, basically. But now at least we're tracking for the goal I set for my team, myself, customer success, the company in regards to renewals from the onset of the year. And granted, in there we had some unexpected churn, but not too much. Only 3 customers churned in like the whole year thus far. Knock on wood, stays that way. But we'll, I mean, there again, we only have like what 50 customers or so. So. But of those 3, only 1 really mattered. The rest were expected and outside of our focus. We kind of want those guys to disappear anyways because they're just a big distraction. And with that said, what else to say about this week, really? When I first moved out here to this place and saw this place, even before I like signed for this place, walked on this terrace and just thought how awesome it would be to have, host homies from home and do some barbecues out here and paint London red or whatever. And nearing 21 months later, finally had my first guest, dude. So before she showed up, and her friend, right? Guests I had in this place in 21 fucking months, man, were my boss, one of the interns at our company. He wasn't currently the intern, but when I moved out here, he was an intern. Then he became a student, hit me up. He came through a couple of times here, a few times, more than a couple, 3 or 4 times, I'd say. Boss once, my mom once, my aunt once, and that was it. And does family even fucking count? Do 2 dudes even fucking count? Not to mention that, funnily enough, after she and him, the friend, left, right? I was walking them out, and then 2 dudes walk up. Oh, do you have a charger, right? I was like, yeah, sure, come on upstairs, whatever. You can like use my outlet, get charged up. Apparently, they were looking person who had the phone, who had the hook, or the connect to the party they were trying to go to. His phone was dead, so they desperately needed some way to charge up to get in contact to find out where to go from there, right? Apparently they were like, oh, there's somewhere here, but this like last mile, we're just like lost. So like, okay, I know how it goes. I've been there before. Come on up, charge your phone, all good. So they come on up, charge your phone. They kick it back for like an hour because it's not even the matter of getting their phone charged at a certain point. At a certain point, it becomes very apparent that they have no where to go. Yeah, they're calling different people. They get, it's not happening for them. They seem like 2 cool dudes. It's not like they were like losers. It just wasn't happening for them. But so there, two more dudes, 2 more guests. I fucking went from having a grand total of 4. I doubled up in a weekend. Go me, right? Yay. You know, really. Oh, it was Halloween weekend as well. So it was nice that I had someone to like fucking just get out and at it with on Halloween weekend. Because if not, I probably wouldn't have done much. And I wouldn't have regretted it because I was sick and I could have, rationalized I'm not well and I need to get healthy anyhow. Well, Halloween is whatever, I'm 33, sort of thing. But the fact they were here and it's Halloween and all that, just it's like, fuck yeah, let's just go for it and have a great time. Yeah, I don't know, not much more to say except I gotta book my flight to the States for Christmas for a buddy's wedding on December 23rd. And I just gotta figure out what to do from there. I think from there, the wedding's on the 23rd. I think I'm just gonna have to fly out on Christmas Eve, do a New York to Bay Area flight if I can find one. I better start looking quick. And they're gonna be expensive for sure, but I think that's just the play. Fly home Christmas Eve from New York, fly to Bay Area, spend Christmas with my mom. Because of her job, can't spend Christmas in. She's like, per her hiring agreement, she cannot take vacation over the holidays because she's in billing and all the billing has to be done before the end of the year. So Christmas is, she doesn't get any time off then. So that said, I'll probably just do that, skip New York and like, I don't want to spend a week on my own dime in New York just to make it to like New Year's Eve in New York. It doesn't feel right either, right? All my friends would be like, why didn't you come home? You were in America and you didn't come home. You spent a week in New York. I don't give a shit about New York, bro. Like, never been, so I can't really say. But yeah, I think I'll just go from New York to the Bay Area, spend a week in the Bay Area, and then come back. Maybe after New Year's, come back here. It's like I ain't got shit for me anywhere, whether it's here here for New Year's or fucking Bay Area for New Year's. I mean, there's no one in the fucking cards, so it doesn't matter where I spend it. My dad sent me a text earlier today. What did he say? I'll read this ridiculousness. First of all, he video calls me. So aggressive, bro. Don't video fucking call me. Stop it. Like, I hate it. Like, don't. Video calls me. I'm like, working. I was legitimately working, right? I'm like, I'm not taking this video call right now. And then what does he say? I was reading this to a fawn on the phone. We were chit-chatting earlier. He video called me also later, but later. And it's not as aggressive from him as it feels like from my dad, right? It says, tonight we had dinner with blank, this girl's name, my neighbor's daughter. And I know I met her, my neighbor's daughter, and talked about you. She's quite pretty, very successful at HSBC and in search of a lasting relationship. You should fly here for a weekend, enjoy the city with her. She is happy to show you around. The next text. She wouldn't mind living in London. I'm like, bro, dad, I don't need like arranged marriage right now, bro. Leave me alone. Like, and I know her too. I've talked to her. I know her. She's sweet. She's cool. She is pretty, right? I mean, she's very like how do you say, like she's thick. She's just like no curves, like very lanky, long, like just thick, flat ass, flat chest, lanky, sticky length. But yeah, sweet girl, pretty face, understood all that, but like, not my future wife, right? Like, what are we trying to play at here too? Especially because it's your neighbor's daughter. Like, are you trying to like, like, would I just like hook up with her? Like, maybe if she weren't your fucking neighbor's daughter, and I don't think you're just looking for me to hook up with her. This is some like, in search of a lasting relationship, right? Like, wouldn't mind living in London. Like, this is some old world, like, this is some fucking arranged marriage, like, type, like, angling, right? I'm not saying he's arranging no marriage, but like it's that kind of like attitude, culture, like parent meddling, or I don't know. Like every time I talk to my father, the thing he cares about the most is that I'm single, right? Like I guess because I'm checking all the other boxes in terms of like professional, but even regardless, he's like a Turkish grandmother about it. Like he's like his mother about it. I remember his mother was always asking, "Am I seeing anyone? Do I love anyone? Is there anyone that I love?" Right? It's always the same sort of five set of questions she'd always actually ask, like, "Am I seeing anyone?" Or like, "Do I love anyone? When am I going to see you? When are you going to write to me? And do you still have your beard?" It's always what she would ask, right? She's a big fan of the beard, which is part of why I still like, why I like committed to it very early too. Because she always asked if I still kept it, still had it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep this. Oh, I like it too, personally. So I'm bored. And now that she's passed, it's kind of like a homage at this point. And I don't think I'd even shave it at my own wedding, to be honest. But that said, that's neither here nor there. But my father's biggest concern is that I'm single, and it's always always applying the pressure there on that topic. He has a hard time like wrapping his head around how a single man could possibly like live. How can you cook for yourself? How can you do your laundry? How can you do all the clean your house? All these things he hires help to do. He can't wrap his head around how someone can. And I can appreciate that because I struggle to do all that. Right? I do not cook. I hire people to deliver fucking food to me. So I get that. He's always talking too about you should just hire somebody to cook for you and clean for you and all that crap. I mean, different kind of culture, right? Like different. I mean, that is a thing in Turkey, definitely. But yeah, that's his biggest fucking concern. All constantly, always harping on that, always making a point of it, and drives me crazy. You know. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll eat my words. Maybe my father will find my future wife, and everything I'm saying here, you know, still does will still apply. It can still be annoying and whatever. But that said, again, that's neither here nor there. That is, I think, the next like real priority for me personally. Once I get this UK hire started, and I can fucking not miss a Thursday dinner and a Friday dinner with a friend from home when I haven't seen any friends from home in 2 years because I've just got too much work to do. I mean that's and I still am playing catch up from having taken off quote unquote early those Thursday and Friday this week. And from not having done work on like the weekend. So I need to get past that. That needs to, and that this UK hire should help with that. Once I can comfortably fucking go out for like a Thursday evening dinner and not like, not be working to like the last minute stressing about like being late for a dinner I have planned, or God forbid, not be late, then and that should be right. 2022, shift the fucking focus. I'm calling out here and now, right? Like that's the line in the sand, man. No more talking about dating. That I need to make it possible for me to just be dating, and coming into these talking about fucking dating stories instead of fucking talking about fucking work stories. That's where I need to put myself come 2022. And I know I've heard this from all sorts of friends. They always say, "Why are you pushing off?" Like you were saying that about 2021 and 2020. Sure, yeah, maybe, but not with the same, assertiveness as which I'm saying it now. Also, 2021 was partially a wash as well, guys, with like fucking Corona and crap, right? And it was a huge year to just like last year we just turned around the company. This year was to show that like that turnaround that led to growth. Next year, yes, sure, there's new goals next year that will matter. We'll feel they matter as much as this year did, maybe. But no, man. I mean, after this year, I've proven myself. Now I need the fucking help, and I have the help with this hire so that I can have a life. And 2022 should be the life I thought I was gonna have when I moved out here, February 5th, 2020. 2 years later. But in those 2 years, no regrets, no regrets. Did what I came out here, set out to accomplish. Didn't do all the partying and stuff I thought I'd, be enjoying, right? But for the best, probably, because when I first came out here, I was kind of manic. I'll be honest. I was flying high, and if it weren't for Corona kind of bringing me back down to earth, who knows where that could have gone, or I could have gone with all that, right? I think the grounding of Corona for me personally was beneficial. For the company, absolutely was, and the fact that like Corona put me in a box and all I had to do was work benefited the company too. And now looks like we're beginning to really reap the rewards of that like imprisonment. Um, so yeah. That said, not much more for me to say, at least not front of mind. Can hum and haw and think of something else to talk about as always. But with that said, much love, be happy, do good. Love you, Mom.